Appreciate you, Don. What's poppin', everybody? Happy Saturday. El sábado, I believe in Espanol. But it's good to see everybody on. If you're tuning in live or on the recording, y'all know the vibes. It is our Saturday book club. We are getting into our 10th book of the year. I'm super excited. And this year has been something serious, bro. The types of books and when they actually came out, you can't make it up. In terms of what squad's been going through, the different stages of our growth process and how far we've come. And at the end of the day, y'all, I truly believe that this part of TGF is one of the most important parts, if not the most important, because the level of your success is never going to exceed the level of your personal development. And I promise y'all, all the answers are in books. Number one book being the Bible. So y'all got to open that thing up and actually take the time to read them. And obviously, reading is a very daunting task, especially for those that never was a big reader. I skimmed my way through textbooks in college. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really like reading. The only things that ever got my full attention was truly this book club. And before even establishing the book club, just this industry helping me become the best version of myself. So best way y'all can collapse some time frames and get the results you're looking for is being diligent in reading from those that have lifestyles and have literally written down their experiences and their thoughts and these principles that you can apply in your day-to-day life. With that being said, we are starting a new book today. I'm excited for this one, The Power of One More by Mr. Ed Mylett. Extremely successful entrepreneur, somebody who has a lot of influence and impact around the globe. If you've ever had the pleasure of hearing and honor of hearing this man speak on stage, y'all can throw some ones in the chat. I know I see some ones in here who popped out to Miami conmigo and on their own. Austin, Michelle, and Donnie were out there with Dylan, as well as a couple other people on squads. Hello, to be included. And we really got to hear this man speak on stage, and he briefly covered the concept while he was on stage. But man, just reading these first few chapters, the intro, chapter 1 and chapter 2, he really paints the perspective on the entire ideology while also giving you the reassurance that regardless of where you're at, what you look like, where you're from, you can too. You know, and this book I really think is going to be transformational to anybody that actually sees it through and then works on applying the information that they're reading in their day-to-day life. It's super, super powerful. So with that being said, y'all know the vibes. We got a good amount of people on here. So we're not going to necessarily time it today, but y'all just be mindful. If y'all feel yourselves rambling, just work on your efficiency. You know what I'm saying? Less than 5 minutes is smooth. You know, but if you feel yourself going too long, all good. Just know we're excited to really hear everybody. We'll do it popcorn style. With that being said, let's kick off this new book. Miss Kelsey, I just see you and you've been in tune since this morning. You want to take it away?
Sure, I got you.
Boo-boo.
Morning, fams. Yeah, before Eladio hopped on, Amber was saying how she's cold down there, but Mikkel left us. Austin knows the vibes. It's cold up here. So, but super excited to start this new book. I was reading it here and there over the past month and a half or so, but a little issue that I have is I'll start reading a book and then I'll see another one and I'm like, ooh, I want to start that book. So I'm really excited to just sit down and read this thing completely through. But with the introduction, you know, a big thing that stuck out to me is really, you know, how this whole book is going to be on, you know, teaching ourselves how to live intentionally and really taking a step back and really thinking about why we're doing things and, you know, what we want to get out of it. Because I know, you know, before, especially being a part of this community, I was just kind of going through the motions and doing what I thought I needed to do and not necessarily knowing why. But in chapter 1, the one more identity, I highlighted a few things. One part was what exactly is identity. He defines it as thoughts, concepts, and beliefs we hold as the most genuine parts of our inner being. This is something that I really sat down with myself and thought about last summer, I would say. And, it's really unlearning the things that we were taught in our childhood. Not necessarily saying, let's say our parents or grandparents or teachers or whoever had any ill intent towards us when, we were learning these things as we were growing up. But as we get older and we kind of are able to make our own choices, kind of decide what we believe for ourselves, it is tough to sit there and, have to unlearn those things first. And then a big part also in chapter 1 that I highlighted a good chunk was adjusting your identity thermostat. So your internal thermostat sets the conditions of your life. So, if you're walking into your life with, negative thoughts, negative outlooks on things, pretty much what you're gonna get back in return is the same thing. So our internal thermostats or our identity regulates our internal self-worth. So I really like that he put that at the beginning of the book, because I don't think really you can get much further without, first figuring out what you stand for, what you believe in. And then moving on to chapter 2, one more, and living in your matrix. What this one talked about a lot, that Austin and I have been talking about quite a bit, is your RAS. So it's pretty much the filter that gives weight to the important things in your life and filters out things that aren't. And so it's really important, I think, to, again, like I said in the beginning, slowing down and really figuring out what you want and finding ways to see that on a continual basis. So then your RAS is constantly feeding you that, and down the line, you don't really, there's no other option but to achieve that if that's something that you are wanting to do. And then I also highlighted everyone has the same ability to choose their reality. And then they raise their awareness levels. In doing so, they slow down their world, and their world changes to better align with the life that they want. So, and then the quote that is literally right after that sentence, I really highlighted: Neo, sooner or later, you're going to realize, just as I did, there's a difference between knowing the path and walking the path. So, that's, I know Marcus has kind of preached that in these book clubs, is we can sit here and read all these books we want, but you can hop on all the sessions you want, you can learn from all the educators you want, but if you're not really out here physically doing the changes or mentally, spiritually doing the changes, in my eyes, it's kind of a waste of time. And by doing so, by actually making those changes, that's how we're really going to get the reality that we desire. So those are just some takeaways, big takeaways I had from the intro, chapter 1 and 2. Really excited to get further into this book. But with that, Amber, are you good to go?
Yeah.
Cool.
Sorry. Yeah, so this chapter in this book, definitely the same things that Kelsey was talking about stood out to me too when it came to identity and the reticular activating system. I really loved once he started talking about identity, because like through personal development, you realize that a lot of our habits and a lot of our subconscious behaviors are attached to our identity and what we believe about ourselves. And so I know like a couple of years ago, that was something that was like being brought to my attention like over and over and over again. And so since then, I've like found little ways to change my identity. So whenever I started talking about this into the book, I really like resonated with it, especially when it talked about your identity is shaped in your early childhood. Like we know in those first 7 years of life, like your subconscious mind is born, and who you believe about yourself is shaped within those first 7 years. So it's like very crucial. And of course, sometimes, you know, our how we grow up isn't perfect, and there's things that we are taught about ourselves or that we believe about ourselves that weren't intentional, you know. And like a part of what we're doing now is doing the work to reverse those beliefs and choose the beliefs that we need to believe about ourselves to be successful, to be the people that God has called us to be. I know, let me see. You can change your identity. Like an example that I use all the time when it comes to my identity is like whenever there's an obstacle that I have like coming up or I'm facing something, I start to create an affirmation or a belief about the opposite of what I'm feeling. Like, for example, I've been getting a lot of constructive criticism recently with working with Mikkel and Marcus every single day. And receiving that, one thing that I learned about myself a couple years ago, someone had said, I think it was like, I was in an argument, they had just mentioned like, you don't take constructive criticism well. And I started to like dig deeper into that because that was some feedback about myself. And then I realized like, okay, like that may be true. And then I realized like, well, my dad doesn't take criticism well either. And so that was just like an observation for me, like, okay, maybe it's like, you know, in my subconscious mind not to take some criticism well. So I created a belief on the opposite of that, that I started telling myself every time I was receiving it, like I take constructive criticism well. I'm someone who can receive criticism every day with a grain of salt. I'm somebody who doesn't get offended when I hear constructive criticism. When I take constructive criticism, I receive it in a way that I can apply it every single day. And so that's just something that I thought about whenever I was reading this chapter. So that's all I got to say about that. Thank y'all guys. Okay, next is Matthew.
Cool. I'll take it. I appreciate it because I'm about to go leave to get a haircut because I need one. Your boy is struggling out here. But what up, y'all? Hope everybody's had a blessed Saturday. Got my workout in already. Woke up early and, you know, ended up reading the rest of chapter 2. But honestly, it's crazy because I didn't know chapter 2 was going to talk about the RAS. Sorry, I'm like all over the place. But, and then when I read it, I was like, oh shit, sorry for the language. But I did the value session on Wednesday. It was kind of like a refresher, and he honestly like spoke on it more and stuff like that. So just to dive right into it, the introduction for me was honestly, it set the pace for, I guess, to get like a deeper insight of who like Ed Mylett is. And it set the tone, I guess, for me to see like what he's about and I guess like how he operates and stuff like that. So one thing that I highlighted from the actual introduction, and I think this is a big one, is he put out, I often set fun aside in favor of winning. The ironic thing is it didn't take long before I figured out that winning is fun. In fact, one of the quotes I'm best known for is winning is more fun than fun is fun. When you're finished reading this book, hopefully you'll think so too. So, you know, really getting the mindset, really diving deeper into like what he's about and how I guess he operates like on a daily basis, you know. So I'm diving into one more identity. Honestly, this one, I was kind of, I wouldn't say shocked or anything like that, but I always thought like you had like your one set identity. You always, before diving into personal development, I've always thought like one way, and there's only that one way, and that's like your personal identity. It falls with your morals, like Amber was saying, and everything like that, and what you believe in. But it's crazy because you can change your identity, and just like Amber said, you know, as a child, a lot of the things are put on you from your parents to your family, to your teachers, to things you listen to. And it all shapes like who you are, what you believe in, what your morals are, and what your ethics are, and stuff like that. And it honestly, your identity became the good and the bad parts of how other people like influence you. So you get bits and pieces from everybody, just like it's kind of weird because hold on, let me find this quote that I had. I really just highlighted it. Yeah. So diving into like what he was actually talking about, I highlighted this, and he goes, as part of my faith, I believe that I come from the most extraordinary DNA in the world, God's DNA. As an extension of this, I also believe that God did not make me in his image to live with the thermostat set to 75 degrees. So just like Kelsey said, that internal thermostat. But he goes, my God and your spiritual deity to create us to live a full faith-based life with the thermostat set to 100 degrees. You know, just really, I guess, putting yourself on fire and actually setting yourself up for, setting yourself up for, what is the word? I guess greatness. You know what I mean? And really setting yourself up to, and really have the back of your head that you can always switch your identity. You can always learn new things. You can always get things from different people. It's like you get what you need and then you leave the rest. And once you actually believe in yourself to actually go do and go be another person, other than, obviously, we always say this, like whatever gets you here isn't going to get you to where you need to go. So you got to create more, you got to do more, and you got to be like a better version of yourself. And I think that's what the One More Identity actually, what they call it, shared, like the One More Identity, I guess, is all about, is like being, I guess, more the best version of you, and really diving deep into how you can be better, how you can do better, and stuff like that. But you're living the living in your matrix, and reading about for chapter 2, reading about the reticular activating system. It's honestly crazy because we literally, your life is truly what you make it. You know what I mean? From what you look at to what you believe in. And it's honestly crazy because it honestly filters out what you want, and what's most important to you. And once you can actually, once you actually know that you have a thing called a reticular activating system, you can honestly start, I guess, having in the back of your mind, you're like, okay, look, I know something inside of me filters out what I do and what I don't want and what's most important to you. And once you know that, and once you can actually go dive deeper into what's actually important to you, you can actually start focusing in on that, you know, and it starts becoming a habit, and you start having those daily disciplines to actually go do one more, to go, I guess, live a life that you're going after. You know what I mean? So honestly, this book is gonna be crazy. It's gonna be amazing. Excited to read the rest of it. But I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Hope everybody has a blessed Saturday. I'm about to dip out so I can go get this haircut. Your boy needs it. So I'll let whoever wants it. Y'all got it.
Yeah, I got it. I got it. Me. What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's having a blessed Saturday, man. It's been a great week for me. Truly life-changing. I haven't got the book yet, but just seeing the title kind of put a thought in my mind about the gym, or just life in general. The power of one more is really crazy and amazing, especially in the gym. Because it's pushing yourself past that failure or past that rep that you wanted to get past. Because in the gym, you have to progressive overload every week, which is bump up the weight to get stronger, to look better, and to reach those goals that you want to achieve in the gym. But also, you have to do that in life. Like if you're IBO, getting people on calls, you have to message a lot of people. And just imagine if you message one more person and then they get a yes, and you get a yes from that. It's like saying you do all that, but then you stop right before that one yes happens. I remember seeing like an image about something, and I think it was in school or something like that, where it shows two different guys mining, and it shows the results for both. One is the top guy is like a couple diamonds or gold spread it out, and then the bottom it shows crazy amounts of diamonds, gold, everything you can dream of. And the guy at the bottom stops right before, and the guy at the top just kept going. So eventually he got to the other guy's diamonds and golds and got way more than what he ever expected just because he went a little further. So just from reading that title, that's where I got it from, but also the identity thing that y'all have been talking about. Most of y'all know I've been at Tony Robbins' seminar past couple days, and this lady came up and talked. Her name was Siri Lindy or something like that. It's a crazy story. I almost cried, not gonna lie. She was saying that she was gonna be a world champ in a triathlon. And a triathlon is running, swimming, biking. She didn't even know how to swim. And she was already saying that she was gonna be a world champion in doing that. And so with hearing her story, she literally just kept going and going. The first triathlon she did, she got complete last. But if she would have quit, she wouldn't have been world champ 2 times. So she kept going, she kept striving, and eventually she got to what she was going to do and what she said she was going to do, just because she went that one more race, that one more rep in the gym, that one more call, that one more message on Instagram telling people what we got going on. So if that's where you want to be and what you're trying to be, is just get one more rep. And I'm telling you, it's going to change your whole results, because when you quit early, you're going to be in your head, you're gonna be like, what if? What if? Don't let that what if be a thought anymore. Just get it done, keep pushing, and go get that last one more rep. That's all I have for it. Hope everybody has a blessed rest of y'all's weekend. I am blessed to have y'all in my life, truly life changing, and let's just keep going and get it. I'll pass it on to whoever.
Is Josh done? Did he say he's done?
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
pass it
all
on to
you,
whoever.
bro.
Cool. Sorry, I'm
Yeah,
trying
but
to connect my headphones and I'm getting them. But let me try connecting my headphones real quick because y'all can never hear me in the car. Come on. Oop.
yeah, so
Brooklyn, stop.
Oh. There we go. Fire, fire. Well, appreciate y'all. I think a good amount of y'all said a lot of stuff that I needed to hear again, and then things that I was going to mention as well. But first and foremost, good morning. Happy Saturday. I am heading to the gym right now to do a quick one. Then I gotta go to the store, get Anna's present. But a couple of things. The one that stood out to me that Kelsey and Matt talked about was the thermostat and then your identity. But I saw a quote that, see where was that? He mentioned about your identity. Well, first I'll do this one. No, I won't do that one because Josh kind of already talked about that. You were born to be average or ordinary. You were born to do something great with your life. It's time to do it. And then, next. The one that stood out to me the most, though, most people understand the impression that there are thousands of things they must do to change their lives when it's not the truth. Nothing could be further from the truth. I've learned that you'll learn to the power of one more. It is only one more thing that is often take the furthest faster, the frequently you're only one more rep away from your new one. And I think that this book is, I think a lot since people starting in the, I guess like the fitness industry is more like popular now than it was maybe like 5-10 years ago. But I think you could take a lot of things or relate a lot of things to the fitness industry, to network marketing, and but I think those two go intertwined with each other, just because for the fitness journey, you're first doing the first like couple months, you're doing the reps without seeing the results, and that's what basically really network marketing is too. Like if you like Matt never even done it before, and he's just going in there knowing that he's around the people who have done it already, and he's just doing that. And that's kind of what you're doing in the fitness industry as well, is you're looking up these either YouTubes, you're looking up TikToks on like what workouts to do, or say like if you first started your fitness journey, you're just trying to get the reps in, but your reps are not looking good. And it's kind of like running your first presentation, or it's like kind of running your first exposure to somebody. You're going to be nervous and you're going to be not as fluent as, say, like if somebody got started today and they presented next week, they're not going to be as flawless as, say, Matt, Marcus, or Raquel would. It's because it's that something they've done before, and they just got to get the reps in to perfect it. And it's like if you talk to a new person at the gym, or you see them working out, their form is like really off. And it's because it's not that they don't want to do it right. It's just they've never done it before, and it's going to take the repetition to get that perfect form down. Like Matt knows his form was pretty bad when he first started, and he didn't know it was bad until now, just because he's seen, looking back, how his form now, and he's done the repetitions. He's hitting arms so many times where he can now know how to focus into that mind to muscle memory. And you talk to a new person at the gym, they're like, or if you hear like something on TikTok, like, I don't want to go to the gym because I'm going to be like intimidated by other people. And it's just, for me, like I could relate everything to the gym, and then you can relate from the gym to everything else. And then another one, it's a new one. Your identity is powerful and influential, driving and governance, I think it says. The outcome is all parts of your life. Your identity defines the limits of your success, your finances, and your achievements. And it's kind of like I think about, when we die, what are people going to think of DeAndre? What are people going to think of Mikhail? And I think that's what a lot of us here want to do, is leave a legacy for not just our name, but for how many people we impact in the world. And It's like I think we all hear that reel all the time on TikTok. I think because it's trending right now. It's like, why would I quit today if tomorrow I could win? And I really think that's just what like this whole thing would be kind of meaning in one sentence is like, why are you gonna quit today if you can win tomorrow? And I think that's pretty much what I got. I just got to the gym and I got an hour. So much love, y'all. If anybody wants to take it away, I will pass it to you. But I hope y'all have a blessed Sunday, or not Sunday, Saturday. And I'll see some of y'all later
Michelle
on.
wants to go. Michelle, you're going?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Good morning, y'all. What is up? Happy Saturday. I'm so glad that we're reading this one because I've been waiting about a year. I heard this man speak in person on this with a few of other people on the squad. Let me go outside real quick. It's a lot in this house. We're cleaning on this Saturday morning. But anyways, Ed, when he was talking about this, and if you guys ever get a chance to hear him like speak about this, you could hear it in his emotion, like really what he means about the power one more. Because yes, it's the thermostat, which is fire, and it's naturally what we do as Homo sapiens. We will like, I'm at a 75, like he says, but like if I'm gonna kind of come to that like at 80, but then if I'm feeling like I'm at 100 because like I made it like one more rep, like DeAndre just said, or one more cold call that was successful or unsuccessful, I'm like feeling fired up. Now it's 115 out here like it was this summer in Texas. So that's the internal thermostat, right? And yes, I have to understand self-identity because in order to fix something, like you got to first figure out who you are, right? So that's like goes back to like the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, like self-love, self-identity, self-esteem. And then from there, it just goes on and on and on, like love and belonging, security, shelter, all that. But when he was talking about the power one more, like his dad being an alcoholic and all the shit he went through, and hearing like really like the emotion in his voice when he was like, his dad called him right before he died. And I know all y'all heard it because y'all saw like when we all heard it live. It was like we were all hearing it together. That I was like, yo, I don't know like who this man is, but like I like want to follow this man. Like this is crazy because I felt that emotion of like his dad was dying and he's like, hey Ed, the power of one more call. So his last call was to his son. And the way he said it was like, one more, son. And he whispered it. And it makes me emotional because it's like, dog, if you're losing your life and you're still fighting, that's the power of one more. That is one more. Like, bro, this world, the banks, the FDIC, the stock market, man, that's all noise, bro. Because who's in charge here? Okay. And yes, we're all acclimating. We're all naturally, we're doing the thermostat. We're like, okay, oh shit. We kind of know, like, we're all blessed on this call right now, right? And all the people we talk to and we interact with and we show everything to, like, we're putting them on game, right? Right? We're showing them multiple streams of income. It don't matter. Right? We're adjusting to the thermostat of this messed up world. But that's why the trilogy is so important, right? Like faith, bro. Because, like, let me tell you, our ancestors and our parents, they've been through worse. Okay? And they came out strong. And so we're their seeds. So we just got to keep it pushing, keep it moving. And like, yeah, I'm not going to tell you I don't get anxious. Shit, I'm tired, bro. Like I'm on these calls today and then I'm going to work overnight because I'm like, shit, I got to keep the lights on. You know what I'm saying? I got to have an emergency fund. I got to make sure like my family is good. But like, I still got to live. Right? Like you got to be happy. But like, I'm going to do a little bit more. I'm going to keep going. One more, two more, three fucking more. And when you're sleeping, I'm going to be working, dog. And I'm going to keep going. I have to. We have to. We have to. We just have to, bro. One more. Okay, everybody touched on the gym. Absolutely. The most disciplined people show up. The hardest part, get your ass up and go to the gym. That's it. It's cold, it's raining. I don't want to work out. Dylan's like, nah, babe. Like, oh, come on. Like, man, like, Your brother's in town. Like, I'm like, nah, dude, I'm holding your ass accountable. Like, we got to go to the gym. Then you're going to be good. We're going to come home, watch a movie, whatever. Like, we have to do this, babe. Nah, babe, you're right. Okay, cool. All right. What are you gonna do? I'm like, don't worry about me, bro. I'm gonna go on the bike. Like, I'm gonna get it in. But you need to be fit, whatever it's called, those muscle bodybuilder gyms. You go do you, because I know your mental needs to be straight. Accountability, right? And so just, I love all of you on this call, and whoever isn't, you know what I'm saying? I love you guys, bro. Talk about you guys all the fucking time, because we are blessed to be awake, dog. Awake. We are so awake on this call. It's crazy. Like, what do you mean? Josh is at Tony Robbins event this weekend. Okay? Like, we don't do the normal stuff. We're on a book club on a Saturday morning. Most people are like sleeping in, dog. Most of us on this call have already been in the gym. Like, nah, man, like we are on the right track, and I'm so proud of you guys, man. Like, I see the resilience. Austin, don't even get me started on, bro. Like, that man, he had a little retracement and he's on fire, and I'm just like, I love to see it, man. I love the people that I know, the people that I like, that I have that are in our circle, is just crazy. And so these books, don't sleep on them. If you don't read, it's all good, man. Catch the recording, catch the YouTube, catch the whatever, but just listen to it on your time. Ain't nobody gonna judge you. I'm not. I barely read last night, and I don't care. I read The Power of One More. Like, I'm gonna read on my time and when I can, but I'm gonna make sure I'm reading and I'm not sleeping on myself, dog, because your mental is what your faith, your intention, and your mental is gonna keep you to really, really survive this next wave of whatever's coming. I don't keep the news on, but I stay awake, and I just go, all right, cool. I'm gonna just pray a little. I'm gonna pray one more minute tonight, you know? And so when I read this stuff, I'm like, oh, so good, man. Ed, so good. But that's really my takeaway from it, you know? And Dylan, just so y'all know, he doesn't hop on book club because that man works every Friday night, so he's sleeping. But he's been reading every single book, and he's like so excited for this, like this one. Like, he's like Ed Mylett, like fan, you know what I'm saying? And he's so excited for this one. And I hope you guys have a beautiful Saturday. And I love you guys so much. I can't wait to see all you guys and give you guys a hug whenever it is. Just know that y'all are in my heart, in my mind, and let's just do it one more time. So I'm gonna pass it to whoever, and I love you guys.
Yeah. She always brings energy.
Love you, Michelle.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So Mikhail is right here with me. This man has been wanting to go. So
I thought his ass was about to edify me, y'all. I was like, yo, what's the book club, bro? No, what up, y'all? What's good? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Michelle, bars on him. Been playing with her. I just hopped on the Zoom on my phone, and it wasn't working while we were in the car. But yes, most definitely. Most definitely a real one. What's up, y'all? I honestly am slacking. I've been a little bit busy this week running around. And
we can't see
not
you. Just a heads up.
can't see me. I can see me and you. You can see me now?
I can
I'm
see you.
excited. Hi, Colb. What's up, people? Yeah, I'm in Marcus's house. It's crazy. But so with that though, I did not finish chapter 2. I did finish chapter 1 though. And it's dope. Honestly, me and Steven had a amazing conversation. Steven has in like, I don't know his last name, but Kayla's cousin, Steven, not Cameron Steven. We were at Banu the other day and we got to talking, and he literally, like, it's crazy because this book club, shout out y'all, shout out us for real. Like, we're out here, real life, changing the game. And truth be told, a lot of what people deal with, the answers are right here. Like, real life. He walked up and he started talking about how he was at this point in his life where he feels like he gets excited about something, he starts learning it, he starts going all in, and then he gets to a point where it's like not as fun to learn anymore. He's kind of felt like he's learned, like, not enough, but like hit that glass ceiling. and he was trying to figure out like, how do I get past that glass ceiling? Like John, what's his name? John Maxwell talks about the law of the lid. Same thing. But here, the power of one more, he was talking about the temperature and setting your thermostat. And it's crazy because literally as he sat down, I was like, yo, this is exactly what I literally just put the book down right before he walked up. I just finished reading and I put it down. And that was exactly what I just read. I was like, bro, instead of me giving you some McHale value session, I'm going to just read you this chapter. So the reason I didn't read chapter 2 is because I sat there and reread chapter 1 with him right there and then at the table. And as I was reading it with him, I was literally watching light bulbs go off. And when it comes to this temperature gauge, a lot of people deal with this on the regular. Like a lot of people are like, yo, how do I get past where I am? And it literally just takes, what are the 3 things? It was your environment, like your association, your intentions, and your faith. Literally, if you check where your come from is, you check where your heart actually is. Like, are you doubting or are you believing? And then from there, take it to that next level and get inside of the right rooms with the right people, get your associations correct. I said, bro, hop on book club. You'll get the answer to your questions right now. Literally, we're talking about this book right now. Read it right now. So everybody who doesn't have the book yet, inside of the app, there is an updated library button. In the updated library, you will find the rest of the books out for the year. Literally, this one included. The Power of One More is in there. So going forward, we're going to keep that library updated. I figured out a new way to actually add in all the books in there. Shout out Steven. That was that conversation we was having. But truly, y'all, this book, honestly, for me, has been an eye-opener. I watched Break the Code live as well, but not live in person. I watched it on the live stream. And it's crazy because I didn't even realize that he literally got on stage and spoke about that until Michelle just talked about it. I'm like, yo, he did. Like, that's crazy because I remember that, honestly. And this book for me has definitely been one of them ones. I honestly am not too far into it, as in I'm just at the end of chapter 1. But for me, the Power of One More has definitely been evident in my life. It's been something that I literally live by every single day. Just do a little bit more. Do one more rep, do one more call, do one more meeting, wake up 1 minute earlier, period. Go say one more nice thing, have one more conversation before you leave. Like, truly, it always makes all of the difference. So with that being said, I am excited to kick off this book for real. And I'm excited to also catch up this coming week and be on top of things with the reading. But truly, I'm just grateful for each and every one of you guys. Being down here in Texas is a vibe. But also this book is a vibe and what we're doing is different. And I had a conversation with the guy Donnie showed this morning. And what he said is God is moving in a way that he's putting a lot of people who have been through the ringer, been through the tests and the trials, and they've been liked, they've been disliked. They've understood what is and what is not and what their actual final destination is. And he's moving those people in position to really be here as the rest of this crap crumbles and the real really starts to get shown. And truly, I believe that all of us are being put in position. And what we're doing here, I know it may seem like a small feat every Saturday morning, but truly, it's something that's very big. It really is. This is very big. You working on yourself is going to directly and indirectly affect millions of people just by being you walking around every single day, having conversations and associating with whom you do. So truthfully, like, continue to take this just as serious as we all do. Continue to be grateful for it because God gave us the pressure and the vision to really get on Saturday morning and really be working on ourselves so that in turn we can go and affect the world that we live in. So I appreciate y'all joining in on that process of being restored. Let's go get a crack in and we'll pass it to whoever's next.
I can go. I'm gonna take it outside though. And my dad's watching football. Oh, hello everybody. Hope y'all are doing well. It's kind of cold out here. Honestly, everything that has been said this morning has been super powerful. Like, just hearing y'all's perspectives and what y'all have gathered from the book has been so amazing. And I really appreciate all you guys just sharing y'all's perspectives. I honestly listened to this book in my car on the audio, and I don't do that often. I'm not an audio person. However, I was like, let me just listen to it on the way to work and like end my day. I think I was actually leaving work and I was like, I want to end my day on just like listening to this book. And it was very, very powerful, like hearing it and just driving and thinking about everything that he was saying, and just kind of how everyone's saying, just pushing one more and getting that like extra one in is really powerful. There was something that stood out to me that he said, I highlighted it. It says, when you create a one more identity, you give yourself the gift of taking control by dictating internal messages instead of being governed by external forces that have been undermining your happiness, possibly since the day you were born. And I heard that line and I literally was like, what did he just say? Like, I had to like process what that actually meant. Because I was just like, whoa, like actually giving yourself, like not letting yourself be dictated by external forces and actually understanding the internal messages that you're receiving. And then that last part of like, possibly since the day you were born, like there's just so many things that like truly we don't even realize that have affected us since we were kids, since we were children. And it's like understanding those and how those things that happen to us as kids or children now affect our identity. I was just like, this is crazy. But it was very eye-opening too. And then he continued to talk about, let me find it. Just like the thermostat. I had never actually heard that before, the internal thermostat. So I really liked that analogy and how it is very applicable to all areas of your life, to the gym and to your relationships, to your work, to every area of your life. It's just surrounding yourself with people who are right there with you. And he spoke about rejecting a 50-degree behavior and making sure that your thermostat is set high for yourself. And another line that he said was, the bottom line is that you're a reflection of the people you associate with. If you associate with people who elevate you and make your thermostat rise, then you're on the right path to creating a new identity. And when I heard that, I felt like I was just filled with gratitude, because we surround ourselves, like we make sure and we hold each other accountable, just like how Michelle was saying, like she was holding Dylan accountable to the gym. And it's just, I'm so grateful to have people who do hold me accountable, because I've never really had that before. I've had friends, but they were never the type to be like, hey, you're slacking, like let's get it together, let's talk about it, what can you do better, what's going on. And so to have you guys as people who just like are so straightforward but also care so much, it's different. So when I heard that, I was like, wow, I'm grateful, because I like, since being a part of like this community, like it's just opened my eyes to like a whole different level of not only like friendships and relationships, but like accountability. And I think everybody needs that in their life. Everybody needs people who hold them accountable, and not a lot of people have that. And since I didn't, like I realized I was in like a really different place than I am now, and I'm so grateful to be in the place that I'm at now. And so I really liked those points from chapter 1. I'm almost done with chapter 2, but I highlighted the part in chapter 2 when it says, when you strategically slow down your physical and mental being, you create a space that allows your senses and brain to rest or to reset. And for me, slowing down is something that I struggle with. Like I feel like I'm always at like 100. I need to like go. Like at work, I'm just like on go mode. And then like I get home and I'm like, okay, what do I have to do? Like I have to do all these things. And like, so hearing that like slowing down is so important, something that I'm beginning to implement. It has a really big toll on your like mental health as well. Like being able to slow your minds down and reset and give yourself that like break, because that's not something I've ever done. I've never just like sat and given myself time to slow down. But since I'm beginning to do that, I'm understanding how important it is to just like do that for yourself, and to just give your brain a break and to give your brain a pause, because having that time to reset allows your mind to clear and allows you to go into things with like a new focus and determination. And so I really liked that he mentioned that. And he also quoted Morpheus, I'm trying to free your minds, Neo, but I can only show you the door. You're the one that has to walk through it. And I was like, that's so true. You have to walk through it. Everybody can show you the door. Everybody can points you in the right direction. But if you're not the one actively taking the steps, you're never going to get through the door. It's all about the active steps that you make on a daily. It's not like, okay, I'm gonna make a step on Monday and then like, oh, I'll finish the rest of the steps on Thursday. And you have these days that you go and that's not gonna get anywhere. You're not gonna get anywhere from that. It's like you have to actively do it every single day. And that's where one more comes into play. One more day. One more day. And then when you wake up, okay, here's another day, one more day. And keep yourself pushing, because it's so easy to fall off. It's so easy to become lazy. And like Michelle said, like, oh, it's raining outside, it's cold, like I don't want to go to the gym. But it's like, no, one more. Like, let's get one more day and let's get one more rep in. Like, it's so easy for us to just get into a cycle where we're not pushing ourselves. And we can't let ourselves get into that cycle, because when we do, it's that much harder to get back up. And I just feel so like this book is very eye-opening. The points that it's hit on, I love it. And I haven't even finished chapter 2. Like, I'm almost done with chapter 2. And I just love it thus far. So I'm really excited to see the rest of the book. I also really liked his introduction and just how he was like very blatant and said like, you know, like there's other books that have said this, but like, here's what it's going to be and here's what you're going to get from it. Like, he was very upfront and he was like, this is what you're going to learn from the book. And I was like, oh shoot, okay, let me just like buckle in, because I don't even know what he's about to say next. So I was just really excited. Just in the intro, like just playing it in my car, I was like what's going to happen? Like, what's he going to say? So I really like liking this book so far. And I'm really grateful to have you guys and to have a book club and have a space where we can all grow together. So yeah, love you guys. Whoever wants to take it. I don't know who's left.
Yeah, I'll go. What up, fam? I've been waiting for this book, that's for sure. And Mylett, outside of this community, probably one of my favorite human beings on the earth. Never even talked to the dude, but I got the pleasure of seeing him live too at Break the Code. And he was the beginning of Break the Code, and that man had everybody in tears right off rip. Like, that was crazy. But he did talk about, you know, this a lot, just the principle of the power of one more. And for me, like in chapter 1, I don't know if anybody, I know I heard a lot of people talking about the thermostat, but the fact that, you know, a lot of us, what we do as humans is we may be, you know, our thermostats may be high one day, and we will like unintentionally or maybe intentionally bring ourselves back down to a lower temperature because we don't think we deserve to be at a higher temperature. And that was kind of one of the first eye-opening things to me, is because I can look back on my life and be like, dang, I've done that, like intentionally and unintentionally. I'll have, you know, been doing good or whatever, and then just bring myself back down a little bit because I didn't think I deserved it, because I didn't value myself, and I didn't have the, you know, the self-confidence like he talks about in the book as well, to, you know, stay at that high temperature. And I think honestly that was probably the most intimidating thing, is trying to stay at the high temperature so that, you know, you can keep, you know, doing good and stuff like that. But the responsibility of doing that was probably, you know, a little intimidating. But second thing I wanted to touch on was in chapter 2, when he was talking about, he talked about the Matrix a lot in chapter 2. But like Kelsey said, the reticulating activating system, I think it's what it's called. Not, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's just the fact that, you know, we talk about it a lot, where we have the power to really control and create our own reality. You know, the mind is a powerful thing. So what you think about most, what you speak about most, you're going to get. And that's why we you could be talking about something one day and then like immediately after, or, shortly after, you start seeing it. And, it's just, I don't know, that just really confirmed or reaffirmed the fact that it is really important to just watch what you speak about, watch what you talk about, because you literally create your own reality, with the help of God, obviously. But that's the third thing I want to talk about too, is how important faith is. And he talks about it in, I believe it was chapter 1, about really how important, really solidifying your faith in whatever you believe in. I mean, obviously we all believe in God, but really just having that faith and moving in faith, knowing that everything that we want or desire, or everything that we want to accomplish, can happen through God. We, as long as you have that belief and constantly work on keep it on. But yeah, I definitely, in my own life, if I wouldn't have had faith in my own life, my life would look a whole lot different. But God has definitely been working through me and in my life, especially, like Michelle had said, I had a little retracement, but just the things that I had seen God do in the last couple months, just really reaffirmed that how important faith is. Because without it, I don't know where I would be. But sorry, I went on a little ramble there. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to read the rest of this book. I actually I was up right around 5, just so I could reread and listen to it as I was moving around, because I just wanted to have it fresh in my mind. But I'm excited, y'all. Michelle, missed your face, girl. Appreciate your energy. You really dropped some bars earlier, but I didn't want to interrupt you. So that being said, I think everybody else on here is gone, right? Or did Donnie, did you go? What are you doing, bro? Oh my God.
What's poppin', everybody? Good old fall weather, you know what I'm saying? Howdy, partner. But happy Saturday, everybody. Much love. Looks like we had a lot of people get off. That's high. I did not read. Just kidding. No, it was lit for sure. Because if y'all didn't know, I don't have the book, but if y'all didn't know, Mikhail, I think he mentioned it, updated the digital library, and in that, Power of One More is in there, and all the other books you can download them to your iBooks, so you can actually have them, and it's free. So, I downloaded the book, started reading it. The introduction definitely reminds me how Michelle went over just his story in the background behind the Power of One More and how it came about, and the relationship that he didn't have with his father to then having as his life was coming to an end, and the reason behind the Power of One More of it was him quitting smoking and drinking or something, and it was like, one more day of not drinking or smoking, and gave inspiration to Ed Mylett upon that process. And then diving into chapter 1, your identity, was, I got a call here in 30 minutes. Diving into your identity, just like you are who you believe you are, and Like if you that positive or negative self-talk, that's what your reality is going to be. So as I was reading it, it just helped me realize, like, in order to operate at the highest level, like highest degree on the thermostat, having that positive self-talk. And I catch myself sometimes, and like, I just said I suck, or I just said this about myself, and like reverting it to, nah, I'm cold, I'm a beast, and like I got it in the bag, and I'm equipped with the tools and resources to do so, and that really has allowed me to operate at a higher temperature within the business on the back end, as well as door knocking. As I'm door knocking, like, because it definitely is a toll on the mental if you're someone who doesn't work on the mental. And I love it because it allows me to apply the things that I learned and having faith in myself, and really just having that positive attitude and operating at a high degree, that it shows, and people are more receptive to you because of the high energy that you bring. And so just applying this in all areas of life is definitely key. And I love it because, like I said, you can always stay a student and never apply something that you're learning until you apply it, and then you learn even more than what it is that you initially learned through doing the things that you through applying the things that you learn. And then chapter 2, going into what my boy Matt had kind of touched up on this past Wednesday on the value session, and like the RAS, and what you picture, and like what it is that what you see, or what you're looking for is what you'll have more of and you see more of. So like I believe it was Ed Mylett I was listening to the other day. He was touching on this as well. And like there's opportunity out there, and if you're not looking for the opportunity out there, because there's always opportunity in front of you. And if you're not looking for the opportunity in whatever it is, you're not going to find it. And that comes with the RAS. And if you're looking for opportunities, they will appear. Mindset upon yourself, upon getting better every day, and doing things repetitively, and allowing the repetition to have progress. I say, what did I say earlier? Not perfection. Practice makes progression. Yeah. So just having that repetition, making that progression, and having that practice to getting better every time you do something, doing one more, and diving into even more in depth of like the mentality behind it, rather than what it just sounds like and looks like. So definitely one of them ones, and looking forward to chapters to come, because like Michelle said, we had heard them at Break the Code the beginning of the year, and it was honestly lit, because just to hear the story, see him in person, as well as Grant Cardone, plenty of others, and learning from him, being in rooms with people, bumping shoulders with people that, like, it's crazy. And so shout out to you, Josh, because I know, boy, that was some sauce in that room. I don't know if you got some pods in and can hear me. Yeah, he can. But yeah, bro, shout out to you, man. Because it's real life changing at those events. Because like even the people that you meet and network with have a lot of things going, and just
Definitely, bro.
so let's get it, y'all.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. I'll pass this thing back to Marquitos Jamitos.
It's my turn. What's poppin', y'all? Yo, the entire time I was getting a haircut and driving, just mad sauce and value the whole time. I was like, dude, quit playing with TGF. It's honestly lit, man. I'm so grateful for all you guys, and I'm honestly grateful for implementing this strategy into my life kind of unconsciously and being able to add the intention behind it, because it's been proven time and time again, and having that understanding from Ed Mylett. I know Michelle brought it up, Austin brought it up. Literally one of the best entries to any event that I've ever been to, and it went straight to the heart, the corazon. I ain't gonna lie to you, it was absolutely impactful. And the thing that stood out most to me was the level of intensity that he led with his emotion to help people really dive in and understand what he's talking about and diving into this book. The first chapter, Michelle touched on it, and what I wanted to touch on and make sure that you guys really understand it is implementing the trilogy in your life. I've actually trained on it before, hearing him speak on it in a podcast, but being able to read it in the context of allowing it to change your identity with faith, intentions, and associations is everything that makes the difference. You know, from actually quoting the Bible and allowing you to be reminded that all you need is faith the size of a mustard seed, and having the intentions that as long as you are doing the right things for the right reasons, things will work out in your favor, and not just applying it in areas of business, but in all aspects of your life. How you get through the hard stuff, how you're there for people when they need you, whether or not you're even checking up on individuals. You know, like I remember having a very small interaction with a nurse that I worked with for a little bit. His name's John Marion. And like nobody in Signature Care had reached out to him whenever he literally had to leave work because he had I believe it was a PE or something. Yeah. And like I just texted him just to see if he was okay, and not just for any other reason other than like, bro, people need good people in their lives, and it's so rare nowadays. So allowing that to flip your script to tell yourself that you intend to do good and serve others. And then that last part of associations, rejecting the 50-degree behavior by getting around people who reflect what it is that you want most, you know, getting in the room, getting around those that actually allow you to think differently, and step into exactly who you are. I love the practical thing that he said in terms of referencing Ralph Waldo Emerson, who wrote the book of The Power of Positive Thinking. We're going to throw that in the rotation, y'all, because it's super impactful. That book is so thick, like 5 C's at the end of it, y'all. So much positivity in that thing. And I utilize it all the time. And it, like, I look back at that season of my life where we didn't really have a book club, but I was reading. Like, you can ask this man, Dylan Poole, like every shift I was on, I was reading a book. You know what I'm saying? And I would sit there, like Jim Rohn says, reading, and just learning as much as I can, and like being able to look back and see how I implemented those things. It made the difference. But Ralph Waldo Emerson said, I remember reading about it. He goes, what lies behind you and what lies in front of you pales in comparison to what lies inside of you. And understanding that my identity is made strong when I am weak. My identity is made certain in times of uncertainty, because I rely on a power that's far beyond myself. You know, the rewards I'm looking for are not of this planet. And it just guides me to make sure that I'm doing the right things for the right reasons. And that was a great reminder, as like getting around the right books, around the right audios, right people, literally will get you closer to God if you allow him to. That's it. And just having the willingness of doing that on a continual basis. So I loved him really separating the differences between self-confidence and identity. That self-confidence helps with your identity, but your identity is completely of who you are. Going into chapter 2, though, I think the biggest thing, and I haven't heard anybody really touch on it just yet, but like that opening segment from The Matrix, and he says, "This is your last chance. After this, there's no turning back." He talks about the blue pill, the red pill. If you've seen the movie, you know what's good. If you read the chapter, you have the insight of how the movie went. But I underlined, after this, there's no turning back. When you decide to take that perspective, then you decide to see it through. Even when the conditions, the circumstances, or your emotions are not always going to be at the level in which you made the decision. And that's where the power of one more really sticks in. You know, events are super powerful. I know Josh can hear me, bro. I'm super proud of you, bro, taking the initiative and getting willing to actually dive into areas and environments that'll cultivate and breed growth. You know what I'm saying? It is literally why Mikhail and I have been in talks of creating events for our organization every 3 months in the future, so that we have an ability to create that environment and help people grow, you know. And it's a work in progress, but you, like Don said, you never know who you'll meet at the events. And I'm not going to get emotional, but it's very close to my heart, because even at the times where you're 5 years in your journey and there's no budge, I literally made the decision to first and foremost pray one more time about it. And then after I prayed one more time about it, I decided to invest one more time in myself, take one more flight, end up at one more event, be open and willing to learn from people that had a life that I wanted one more time. And then I got in a space where I met Mikhail. And I was like, literally, I was literally about to give up. Not a lot of people understand truly the type of relationship that I was holding on to, that God was telling me to let go of for a while, and where my mentality was at that point in time, and how everything around me was literally switching up, bro, from not being able to graduate on a stage in a way that I always thought I'd be able to provide that for my people to really share with me, not just see me and witness me do it. Like, it was a collective effort that I felt like got taken away from my relationship being on the back end of things, to my business falling apart due to bankruptcy, and me being confused on what I'm supposed to be doing and how I'm supposed to be doing it, and whether or not I was going to settle, and whether or not I was going to continue going after this freaking vision and a dream that I couldn't let go of without ever knowing it. Like, that part where he says, after this, there's no turning back. Like, I made that decision with myself. Like, I'm either going to see this to fruition or I'm going to die trying. And most people are unwilling to get to that point. And that's why most people will never see any results. And even though the results are not guaranteed for me, what is guaranteed is if I don't take that perspective, I have no chance. Period. So choosing to at least take that different perspective and choose that belief system one more time at least gives me the avenue and the route to actually make it happen. And going to one more event, even when I didn't want to, and believing in the vision one more time, got me to a point where, like, I wake up and I'm in a dream every day. God is providing a way, even when I have no idea how. And I've been so reliant on my faith and my belief in him that all I work on is myself, being a servant leader for others, and things have been working
out. And what really stood out before he talked about the RAS and he dives deeper into the matrix and how it works with your confirmational biases is the fact of being the one. And what I want y'all to understand is like, I had a very complicated way in which I was attempting to convey this message to my brother, because we had an amazing conversation, honestly, about, I think it was like maybe 2 months before Josh ever got into the system. So I don't know what time frame that was, maybe like 4 or 5 months ago. But we looked at exactly where we're at and where we came from where we started, and we pointed out the facts. You know, my dad had just lost his job through getting laid off. My sister, pregnant. You know what I'm saying? My mom's rent about to go up. And financially, I thought I'd be in a better position to be able to take care of my people, and we weren't. But me and my brother, we had a real conversation of like, yo, look how far we've come, look how much we've done. And here are the facts. Our parents did it absolutely the best they could with what they had. Our cousins, we told time and time and time again, they obviously don't want to take up the mantle or share the burden. Our aunts and uncles are more concerned about what he said, she said, than what it is that we're attempting to do for our family. The economy is getting 10 times more difficult, and things are actively changing on a consistent basis. And we've done absolutely everything that we said we were going to do. And we said it first, except for setting our people free. And being the one that shows up in your family, who changes the emotions, finances, level of happiness, and the way the family thinks, among many other things. He says, my prayer for you is for you to become the one in your family. And y'all already the one. You just have to believe it and just continue doing it. I think about the years that my family never really received anything that I said. And I know that their subconscious mind recorded every conversation. I know that me being around and being annoying and saying it over and over and over again made a difference. And now that my brother and I are on the same page, we've made a promise to ourselves to be the ones in our family to change it long after we're gone. And I told him that type of commitment is going to require us to truly believe that we're committed to actually carrying out that vision, whether or not we see the fulfillment of it in our lifetime. Meaning, are we still willing to get up every day and do it one more time? One more rep, one more call, one more lift, one more encouragement, one more value session, one more book club, where the actual compound effect of everything leads to that vision coming to fruition, whether we're even alive. Like, if we're committed to that, then what we talk about on the things that we're after not being of this planet truly is facts. You know, we know that we at least are doing our part in making a difference and helping our family and being the ones that change everything so that our legacy is cemented forever, you know? And that's all I care about, y'all. I always remind myself of the vision and the why, because things are difficult. And I love this actual ideology, and I use it a lot in the gym. I used it a lot before I found Josh on Instagram. I was like, all right, one more response to a message on Instagram. Ain't no one been joining my organization. No one's moving and grooving. Let me go do this one more time. Let me go take one more 90-day run. Let me go and actually hop on one more call with Joey Wilson. Let me go hop on one more call with Alex Morton. Let me go hop on and attend one more event. Let me go and figure out how to run an event, not knowing how to run an event one more time. Like, all it takes is the willingness to have it and do it. And I'm so excited beyond beyond ecstatic to see exactly how y'all's lives change by implementing these concepts and doing it in every aspect of your life, not just for your business. Last thing I'll say is what he touched on in terms of you are defined by the content of your character rather than the reflection you see in the mirror. So make sure that as you do your reflection, as you dive in and as you grow, you remind yourself of what type of character and person that you're stepping and having and becoming, and then stay true to that and allow God to do the rest. So I love you guys. I appreciate y'all. I'll throw this thing back to Mikhail if he wants to close it out. Or I don't know if he's here. Or you know what? I'm just gonna close it out, yeah. So I love you guys. I appreciate everybody. Thanks for letting me talk off y'all's ear. It was super emotional for me to get to hear all y'all's value and see how much growth you guys have had while you're in this season of execution. 2023 has been nothing but execution, like we said. And now we stepping into expansion. Things are about to really take off. In terms of keeping up with the book, I promise you guys, you can look now. In the events on the book club, I literally already spaced out what chapters we're going to read when for the remainder of this book throughout the rest of the book clubs for the Power of One More. So if you are confused on where to pick up or what we're going to cover, the recent event has it updated. I'll make sure I do that moving forward for every book. I know I've kind of slacked in that regard, so my bad, y'all. But y'all can always, I know the vibes, call me, text me, beat me if you need to reach me. And I love y'all so much. Y'all do what y'all can, stay positive, and I hope to see y'all's beautiful faces in person over phone time, FaceTime, whenever y'all need me. As always, I'll see you at the top. Bob Rich Credit. Have a wonderful day. Love y'all.